Ever wondered where cravings come from? I mean every kind of craving, such as cravings for food, luxuries, status, etc. They come from a motive, sometimes from a direct motive, but always from an underlying motive. You see, every behavior has a surface level craving and a deeper underlying motive. I often have a craving that goes something like this. I want to eat a pizza. If you were to ask me why I want to eat pizza, I would say, because I haven't had it in a while and I'm craving it. What I would not say, because I need food to survive. But the truth is, somewhere deep down, I am motivated to eat pizza because I have to eat to survive. So what that means is, the underlying motive is to obtain food and water, even if my specific craving is for a pizza. Some of our underlying motives include conserve energy, obtain food and water, find love and reproduce, connect and bond with others, win social acceptance and approval, reduce uncertainty, achieve status and prestige. A craving is just a specific manifestation of a deeper underlying motive. Your brain did not evolve with a desire to smoke cigarettes or to check Instagram or to play video games. At a deep level, you simply want to reduce uncertainty and relieve anxiety to win social acceptance and approval or to achieve status. Look at nearly any product that is habit forming and you'll see that it does not create a new motivation, but rather latches on to the underlying motives of human nature. Here are a few examples of how products we use fulfill our underlying motives. Find love and reproduce, using Tinder. Connect and bond with others, browsing Facebook. Win social acceptance and approval, posting on Instagram. Reduce uncertainty, searching on Google. Achieve status and prestige, playing video games. Your habits are modern day solution to ancient desires, new versions of old vices. The underlying motives behind human behavior remain the same. The specific habits we perform differ based on the period of the history. Here's the powerful part. There are many different ways to address the same underlying motive. One person might learn to reduce stress by smoking a cigarette. Another person learns to ease their anxiety by going for a run or using breathing techniques. It all depends on the choices you made in the past. Your current habits are not necessarily the best way to solve the problems you face. They are just the methods you learn to use. Once you associate a solution with the problem you need to solve, you keep coming back to it. Habits are all about associations. These associations determine whether we predict a habit to be worth repeating or not. Your brain is continually absorbing information and noticing cues in the environment. Every time you perceive a cue, your brain runs a simulation and makes a prediction about what to do in the next moment. Cue. You notice that the stove is hot. Prediction. If I touch it, I'll get burned, so I should avoid touching it. Cue. You see the traffic light turn green. Prediction. If I step on the gas, I'll make it safely through the intersection and get closer to my destination, so I should step on the gas. You see a cue, categorize it based on past experience, and determine the appropriate response. This all happens in an instant, but it plays a crucial role in your habits because every action is preceded by a prediction. Life feels reactive, but it is actually predictive. All day long, you're making your best guess of how to act given what you've just seen and what has worked for you in the past. You are endlessly predicting what will happen in the next moment. Our behavior is heavily dependent on these predictions. Put another way, our behavior is heavily dependent on how we interpret the events that happen to us, not necessarily the objective reality of the events themselves. Two people can look at the same cigarette, and one feels the urge to smoke, while the other is repulsed by the smell. The same cue can spark a good habit or a bad habit, depending on your prediction. The cause of your habits is actually the prediction that precedes them. These predictions lead to feelings, which is how we typically describe a craving. A feeling, a desire, an urge. Feelings and emotions transform the cues we perceive and the predictions we make into a signal that we can apply. They help explain what we are currently sensing. For instance, whether or not you realize it, you are noticing how warm or cold you feel right now. If the temperature drops by 1 degree, you probably won't do anything. But if the temperature drops 10 degrees, you'll feel cold and put on another layer of clothing. Feeling cold was a signal that prompted you to act. You have been sensing the cues the entire time, but it is only when you predict that you would be better off in a different state that you take an action. A craving is the sense that something is missing. It is the desire to change your internal state. When the temperature falls, there is a gap between what your body is currently sensing and what it wants to be sensing. This gap between your current state and your desired state provides a reason to act. Desire is the difference between where you are now and where you want to be in the future. You feel hungry now and you want to feel fed. You are feeling down and you want to feel good. You are feeling bored and you want to feel entertained. All this is caused by desire. Even the tiniest action is changed with the motivation to feel differently than you do in the current moment. When you binge eat or light up a cigarette or browse social media, what you really want is not a potato chip or a cigarette or a bunch of likes. What you really want is to feel different. Our feelings and emotions tell us whether to hold steady in our current state or to make a change. They help us decide the best course of action. Neurologists have discovered that when emotions and feelings are impaired, we actually lose the ability to make decisions. We have no signal of what to pursue and what to avoid. As the neuroscientist Antonio Damasio explains, it is emotion that allows you to mark things as good, bad, or indifferent. To summarize, the specific cravings you feel and habits you perform are really an attempt to address your fundamental underlying motives. Whenever a habit successfully addresses a motive, you develop a craving to do it again. In time, you learn to predict that checking social media will help you feel loved, or that watching YouTube will allow you to forget your fears, or watching a movie will allow you to forget about your worries, even if it's momentarily. Habits are attractive when we associate them with positive feelings, and we can use this insight to our advantage rather than our detriment. I will be covering that in the next week's video, so hit the subscribe button now. I hope you found this video helpful and look forward to the solution of this issue next week. So subscribe not to miss out. Please like, share and comment if you liked my content. Thank you for watching.